Today's news, Google goes duck hunting. Google, I'm so sorry. Google killed FLoC, which, let me pause for a minute. If you've been watching my channel at all, you know that FLoC was the most terrifying thing that ever could have happened to us. And in my defense, for being Chicken Little now that it's dead, it would have had a dramatic impact on the way that we advertise moving forward. And it shocked me that very few people were talking about it because it's such a massive shift. What they're now proposing is an equally large shift, but I'm optimistic. So they're calling this a topics API, and this was announced today. Shout out to my boy Colin Schmelbeck for the FYI. I got a text from him this morning because he knows how much FLoC scurf terrifies me. I haven't had enough time to integrate this knowledge, so I'm not going to have as much commentary as I'll just maybe try to do my best at explaining what they're doing. So instead of FLoC, they now have topics, which is their new Privacy Sandbox proposal. And the whole piece here, if you haven't been following, if you're brand new to this, is the world is moving towards privacy first initiative. Google needs to find out how to target and advertise and remarket and do all those things in a privacy first way. So they had a system called FLoC, which is Federated Learning of Cohorts, that was unbelievably disruptive. And I think, those of us that cared set the world on fire, and now Google's like, all right, cool, we're not gonna do FLoC. And they go on to say that here. Replaces our FLoC proposal. Topics was informed by our learning and widespread community feedback. People freaking out. So this is interesting. With topics, your browser determines a handful of topics, hence the name. Fitness, travel, transportation, that represent your interests for that week. This is getting interesting. So browsing interests are defined on a week-by-week basis. Topics are only kept for 3 weeks, and old topics are deleted. They're not caching old topics, which I think is a step towards privacy, but it's an interesting issue with anybody with a sales cycle that's longer than 3 weeks, especially if you're entering the marketing funnel mid-stage. You're gonna end up moving very, very heavily towards old school display-based marketing because of this, which is fine. Topics are selected entirely on your device without involving any external servers. I think that's brilliant. When you visit a participating site, Topics picks just 3 topics, 1 topic from each of the past 3 weeks. So there's an atrophy going on. It's recency bias, obviously, to share with the site and its advertising partners. Topics enables browsers to give you meaningful transparency and control over data. Got it. Use case. And then Chrome is going to give you the ability to control the topics you see and remove topics you don't like, which again, solid move towards privacy first. I actually think that, now, first of all, this isn't ideal. This is far, far, far less than ideal for advertisers. For the privacy first world, just kind of makes sense. And it's way better than FLoC. FLoC was going to put everybody into one cohort, and that one cohort was going to be interest-based, and you were going to end up in this horrible situation where you were bidding against everybody that might have wanted to bid for that cohort. It was such a flawed model. I'm so glad they tanked that. And maybe I'm an idiot. I just didn't understand how it would have manifested long-term, but I didn't see any angle where that didn't hurt smaller businesses. What Topics is doing is interesting because now it's not about the size of business, obviously. It's about the type of product or service that you sell. And maybe more to the point, trying to identify, and this is, I think, interesting now that I think about it, trying to identify the topics that will act as predictive indications of intent for whatever it is that your service is. So, for instance, if somebody's interested in carpet cleaner, they may be interested in new flooring, right? Or even selling their house. If you extrapolate far enough and they're like, gosh, this is just a dud and I'm just going to flip it. So those are 2 really extreme examples. Oh God, my carpet is horrible. What I'm asking for is carpet cleaner, but I know as the flooring guy that you're 50% of you that think you can clean this thing yourself just want to replace the damn carpet. And then I know as the fix and flipper that 1 out of 20 of you that think you need to replace the carpet, you're going to rip that carpet up and find, mold and black tar and pirates and whatever, and then you're going to need to sell the house. So you can begin to take topics and stretch what they mean. But this 1, 2, and 3 week thing, that's going to be the clincher. And I don't fault Google. Here's the thing: is there's no right answer to this, right? Like privacy first is a hard thing to contend with, and so I don't want to I'm not going to lay the issues at the feet of Google. I actually think that Topics is a way better proposal, far more accessible than FLoC. FLoC was a catastrophic nightmare that was going to destroy the world and bring us all into the dark ages. Topics, it sucks to lose the data. It sucks. But this is something that I feel like 80 to 90% of advertisers are actually going to be able to contend with. So I'm more or less excited. And we'll see. I mean, they're going to change it and modify it. And they're going to be like, oh, by the way, you don't get the thing. And then I'll be like, oh, the thing, I want the thing. So we'll see. I'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions, input. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know we actually know what we're doing. We shoot a video every single day. So if you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any input, don't hesitate to hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We get very little human interaction. Thanks for supporting our channel, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.